good, Internet? My name is Taylor Brooks, PDGA number 103209. Today I'm out here at Westover Park in Harrisonburg, Virginia, where I'm going to be showing you my 2020 in the bag. So a little quick intro about myself. I come from an ultimate Frisbee background. I played at Radford as well as competitively in New York City for New York Empire and New York Pony. I switched over to disc golf in early 2018 and started playing in tournaments competitively then. And I primarily compete in the Northern Virginia area, but I'll also travel around Virginia and the surrounding states every now and again. So you'll notice from the video that I bag mostly Kastaplast discs. Kastaplast is a Swedish company. The reason that I chose to bag them is because I just really like the feel of their plastic in my hands. That's pretty much all it is for me. It's all just a feel thing. And throughout the course of the video, when I'm describing the discs and talking about them, I'll be saying the unofficial names of the discs. All of the discs are named Swedish words, and so they have their own Swedish pronunciation, but I'm not Swedish, and I'm not even going to attempt to try to pronounce them the proper way because I don't want to look foolish. So I will just be saying the American version. So first I want to start off with the bag itself and some of the extra things that I carry aside from discs. The bag is a dynamic discs Ranger H2O version. I specifically chose the H2O version because I loved having the water pack. I always, when I was playing rounds, would just forget to drink. I'd be thinking about my shots, thinking about anything other than drinking water. So I would always forget to just pull out my mug and start drinking. So I really like that the H2O has the water pack right there on the shoulder strap, and it's easily accessible water. Other things that I carry that are very important throughout the round are towels. I have 5 towels, so I need my hands to be very dry. So I have a ton of towels as well as some birdie bags, which I can move around in the hands to dry my hands off. Also got to have snacks. Snacks are key on the course. I have some crackers as well as some Nerds rope. And then I always carry an umbrella, small umbrella that just fits very easily in the bag. You never know when you're gonna run into some weather or something, so I just carry this small umbrella with me. Some of the other little various things I have on my bag, little trinkets, have a duck and an octopus keychain. No real reason behind those. Some pins here. Actually, this pin is Joy from Inside Out. I think that's a very important pin because you gotta remember that we play disc golf for fun. And so a lot of times people can get angry or upset on the course. When I do, I just think about Joy from Inside Out and just be happy. And then I also have my mini here, metal mini that I got from my first tournament when I started playing disc golf. It was not PDGA, but it was just a fun local tournament on New Year's Day, 1/1/2018, at a course in Northern Virginia that's no longer around, RIP McLean. All right, so first off, we're gonna take a look at the putters. So we'll start off with my putting putters. I putt with K3 Ricos that I got from my friend Kim Brennan. K3 is the base plastic for Kastaplast, similar to DX for Innova. I just really like the feel of these discs in my hand. For me, putters, they all are pretty much the same within 30 feet. So I used to putt with Wardens, and when I switched to mostly Kastaplast, I went with the Rico because I felt that it was similar to a Warden. And yeah, these just have a little hyzer finish. I have a hyzer putt, and just like the way they feel in my hand. That's what it's most important for me when putting. All right, so now moving on to my throwing putters. I throw a Garrett Girthy Sonic, and actually Garrett himself did sign this when I got it from him, but it's faded now. But I like to use this disc for just soft approach shots, little backhand turnovers sometimes. To me, this flies mostly similar to an Ultimate Frisbee disc, so it gives me a lot of comfort and a lot of familiarity. So I'll use this for some soft approach shots. And then the next disc that I throw for putter up shots is the Berg. And I bag 3 Bergs, one in the K1 soft plastic for backhands, and one in the K3 base plastic for forehands. This is just a backup for the pink one. I throw this pink one on a ton of upshots. Almost every upshot I'm throwing this pink disc. And I really like to just release it on a little bit of a hyzer. It flips up to flat and it just goes straight. And another great thing about this disc is that it doesn't have a lot of glide. It's only a 1-speed, so it's really just like a point and shoot disc for me from 200 feet and in. As for the K1 Softberg, this one's a newer one to my bag, and it's a little more overstable. And so I like to just throw it out on a backhand, and I know that it has a little bit of a reliable left finish, but not nearly as much as like a typical overstable putter. All right, next is my mid-range discs. First up, I have a Harp that has the Innova Disc Golf Association stamp on it. Shout out to them. I got this from my friend Connor Gully, and I use this for flicks and backhands. I like to use this in the woods for scramble shots. I'll throw it on a little bit of an ante and it'll hold that line for a little and then come back and either land flat or have a little bit of a hyzer towards the end. It's a soft plastic. I'm actually not sure what plastic is, so sorry, but it's soft and a little gummy. So I really like this one for woods shots. The next mid-range that I bag is I'm calling it the Gautier. It says Sisu on the disc, but that's just because it's a unique stamp. This is the Kastaplast Gautier. Probably not pronouncing that right, but I already gave that disclaimer. This is just a pretty straight mid-range with a little bit of a hyzer finish. I use it for backhands only. I'll throw it out flat and it'll fly flat and glide for a pretty long while and then finish left. So I'll use this for like 275 and then my last mid-range is a Comet that I got from Andrew Fish. This is his tournament stamp here, and I'll use this for little turnover shots, or just also kind of flat, dead straight shots. This kind of just holds whatever line I put it on. Has a little bit of turn when you give it the juice, but I like to use this just for anytime I need just basically a straight backhand. We're gonna move on now to my fairway drivers. First one that I bag is a T-Bird with Brent Anderson stamp on it. Brent Anderson was a Loudoun County Disc Golf Club member that passed away a couple years ago, so I like to bag this in remembrance of him. I like to use this disc for backhand shots that I'll put on an ante, and they'll kind of just hold that for a decent amount, and then maybe they'll hyzer out a little bit. Usually can throw it about 300 or so, a little bit more. Next fairway disc that is my favorite disc is the Falk, the Kastaplast Falk. I bagged 3 of them. These 2 are for forehands, and this one is for backhands. Shout out to Kyle Ratcliffe in the Nova Disc Golf area. He hooked me up with almost all of my Kastaplast discs, including all the first runs that you're seeing. So first, these first runs, I use these for flicks only. These are my flick only discs. I use them in the woods mainly for when I need to just hit a precise line. I just will release them on a hyzer and they'll flip up to flat and just ride straight. Over the summer, I was in a video with Paul McBeth and Barry Schultz, and seen that video by Foundation Disc Golf. You'll see me throwing this disc on every tee shot pretty much. I love this disc in the woods. So the other Falk that I bag is this K1 soft plastic Falk. I use this for backhands, release it on a little bit of a hyzer, flip up to flat, and get a nice glide out of it. I really love the Falks for how much they glide. These things, I can throw them pretty much as far as my distance drivers without sacrificing the accuracy, so I really love the Falk. The next fairway driver that I use is the Lots, or maybe it's Lutz, I'm not exactly sure. I use this one for backhands, just where I want a flat shot with a little bit of a hyzer finish, not as much as the Kastaplast Stall, which I'll get into in a second, but I can really rip these things about 350-ish. Just really like this one for wide open shots. And then lastly, Kastaplast Stall, another first run that I got from Kyle Ratcliffe. This is basically like your Firebird or your Discraft Raptor, the overstable fairway. I use this mainly for flicks, and I'll just really rip on it, give it a little bit of an ante, and it'll fly, and it always finishes right. I use this for when I definitely need a reliable finish to the right with a forehand or a reliable finish to the left with a backhand. This thing is very overstable, and I love it for that. All right, lastly, the distance drivers. I bag 2 Wraiths Pro Wraith and a Champion Wraith. Got this one from my friend Kevin Mosteller. I love this disc for hyzer flips. I'll throw it out on a backhand, flip up to flat, and get that full S curve, and then just finish left a little bit. This Wraith right here is a little more overstable, so I'll put this one on some Annie for like kind of just that forced Annie throw to get the full flight out of it. So, you know, just kind of depending on the shot shape, I'll go with one or the other. And my last disc is a Grim X that I got from James May's Mayhem stamped disc. This one's just, for me, just an overstable, reliable distance driver. I will use it for primarily flick shots, and I'll just put it on Annie and I'll know that it's going to come back to the right. So if my stall is not giving me enough distance, then I'll switch to the Grim X to get that little bit of extra distance, but still have that reliable finish. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for your time. Hopefully I'll see you out on the course. And one final thanks to Kyle Ratcliffe for all my first runs that I bag. You're the man.